Welcome back to Goshen Prepping, everybody. As always, I'm glad you're here. When it comes to prepping and preppers, there are certain mistakes, tons of them, by the way, that I see preppers make. And some are super obvious and some are more subtle. And unfortunately, when you're going through those, you don't usually see them yourself. So I'm going to help you out with this because it's not just about crap it's the fan, and even just life today, by the way, which always helps out, but saving your life. Certain things that you don't want to be misled by. Okay, so let's go through this list, guys. It's very important. And I'm going to put some very important ones on the end too, by the way, as we always do. So number one, I need you to understand that you cannot believe fear is a strategy for preparedness. Fear is the opposite of a strategy for preparedness because fear will cloud your mind and send you down the wrong direction. Now, fear has its place. Fear may spark you to go into action, and that's good. But I find a lot of preppers and even like prepper channels are all about the fear. We want the fear, 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 without taking the next step of trying to do something about the fear instead of just sitting there living in fear. That's not prepping. It's just the opposite of prepping. It's fearing everything about life, and it makes you not even enjoy your life too. And that's why some people don't like this strategy of let's enjoy my life. They think prepping should be misery. I don't get that at all. That's not, I've been through that a million times. Let's leave it at that. Number two, buying gear before learning skills. I'm not saying don't get gear, but the skills are what's going to save your life because it actually, at the very least, makes you more adaptable. You know how to do things because you can't always depend on having gear. History has proved that. You know, if we have some kind of major event like a war or possibly even a forest fire in your area, your house is gone, all your gear's gone. Oh, darn, I wish I would have learned skills to be able to survive because you may not if it is the war part of it. Number three, preparing for the Hollywood version of how things go instead of real life. And there's a lot of Hollywood versions, by the way, of prepping that's completely wrong. Like, for example, an EMP will knock out every single electronic you own, and that's simply not true. Electromagnetic pulses, coronal mass ejections don't work that way. Small devices that aren't plugged in will survive. Your pacemaker guaranteed will survive during an EMP event. But Hollywood or books want you to think just the opposite. And that's just one example out of countless examples. There are lots of them. Number four is a big one, ignoring physical fitness. I am not like the most amazing fit person. There's some people I look at, especially being younger ones, right? Who are just like the epitome of physically fit. I'm not saying we need to be there, but being physically fit, I'm now, as of last year, a world champion martial arts. Go back a few years before that, I was morbidly obese. I could barely walk. I was collapsing. It was awful. It doesn't take much. It just takes some dedication. Make sure you do some physical fitness so you head in that direction. That's the key. The first step in 1,000 miles is the first step, one step. I don't know. Obviously, my forte is not memorizing quotes, but you got to take that first step and off you go. Stop worrying about the destination and just start getting physically fit. Number five, putting all your money, all your investments into one category. That's just prepping overall, by the way. It's a big mistake I see people make. They think that one specific event is going to happen, so therefore they need to put all their prepping, not even just money, but time into that one area. You need to be the definition of a prepper, by the way, is somebody who's well-rounded in all kinds of things, like jack of all trades. How many out there are jack of all trades? Because when you can think, put it in the comments below, by the way, but when you can think outside the box for all these different venues, you're adaptable, that's prepping. That's the person who's going to make it and survive. It's not simply somebody who just has one specific area. Number six, having no family communication plan. Having no communication plan at all is a bad news. It doesn't have to be through cell phone. In fact, probably should not be because cell phones, you can't always depend on them, maybe radios. I don't care what you do, but you need to have some kind of communication plan. So if crap hits the fan, you meet up here. You need to have a communication plan so you know exactly where to meet and how to be able to defend yourselves, et cetera, whatever that case may be, because community is key. Number seven, thinking that preparedness needs to be expensive. That one drives me nuts. I get all the time on this channel that, oh, I couldn't afford to buy this, whatever. That may be true. Maybe you can't buy that one thing. It's all about what you put your money and time into, by the way. I find in my philosophy, if I really need to get something for prepping that it is expensive, then the only person to blame is myself because I need to put myself in a situation to be able to buy that item. Where there's a will, there's a way is what I'm trying to say. But preparedness over itself does not need to be expensive. In fact, remember, it's about practicing more than buying gear. People who say, I can't afford to prep, has no idea what prepping is. Sure, it's good to have some food and water stockpiled, but it's skills that cost nothing. Practice your skills. That goes along with also number 8, ignoring financial preparedness. There's people who get that fear part of it, and they'll go into debt, $10,000 buying all this prepping stuff, thinking the end of the world's coming tomorrow. It's not. It's scheduled for the week after. I'm just joking, guys. But my point is, you can't put yourself more in debt because financial preparedness is a preparedness too. You're asking for more trouble. And that goes along the line with waiting until tomorrow to start, because we hear about something happening. We're like, forget it. There's that rerun of Gilligan's Island today. Let's sit down and just watch that. And we'll see how there were preppers using coconuts and making radios with coconuts like the professor did. No, you get started. There's that first step. Off you go. And then number 10, people think, even though they won't say this out loud, that prepping is a spectator sport. I'm just going to sit back and watch how everybody else does it. So therefore, that makes me certified, qualified, and I know what I'm talking about. No, it doesn't. It's the people who have actually been into it. Like they always say, don't judge someone until you walked in their shoes, or the best expert is the one who's done it 100 times. I totally made that up. You know what I'm talking about. You need to get off your tuchus. Go do something. Even if it's the smallest thing, just start heading in that direction and actually do it. That's the key. Get out, go for walks, get more fit, take a backpack, go camping. It's a great prep. Do this with your family. It's all about your family. It's fun. You'll live your life. You'll be teaching your kids or family better strategies in life, but you got to get out and do it. Don't just sit there, guys. You got to schedule out and make plans, because nobody ever said prepping has to be miserable. You can be miserable in your own little bunker, bud. I'm not going to be over there with you. I'm going to go right back to my first note I already talked about. Believing fear is a preparedness strategy is your first wrong move. It's not about fear. It's about living your life. That's what prepping is all about. And anybody tells you otherwise is leading you down the wrong path. All right. So I hope you take these things, really good strategies to look at. Get rid of all this fear and misconceptions, because they do not understand what prepping and preparedness is. You and I do. And that's why you're a Goshen prepper, just like I am. Put in the comments below, what are some other things that you've been told you're like, that's simply not true at all? Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you. I really do. And we'll see you next time.